what should we be doing with the children? Because I will tell you, I'm glad you brought this up, Doctor, because we're coming up on school season. I've got small kids. I know so many of my viewers have small kids, and we're already hearing the chirping of, the scared suburban mom, can't send the kids back to school. We can't send the kids to school. There's government guidance. Governors are freaking out. Mayors are freaking out. This is beyond physically, mentally. This sucks for my kids, and my kids are relatively normal, well-adjusted kids. This has got to be terrible for the mental health of children in this country.
Well, let's start looking. First, obviously, the most significant obvious impact is on their academic or educational platform. We know that now there are studies predicting that kids at this point, if they went back in September, as they should, they are already starting 35% behind in reading and English skills than they would have been if they had not missed those months back in the spring, and 50% behind in math. Okay, that's even greater for minority children. For Black and Latino kids are going to have even a bigger impact. So on the academic side, they're already really starting behind the 8 ball. Then let's look at other things like the fact that the vast majority of cases of child abuse and neglect are picked up at school. We've seen a 30% decrease in reported cases of child abuse and neglect since February, and then greater. Okay. Now, I would submit to you that's not because kids locked at home with their parents, many of whom are out of work and are desperate themselves, that all of a sudden child abuse has gone away. No, it's because those kids aren't in school where it would have otherwise been picked up. Vision and hearing problems, largely picked up by teachers at school, not by parents. So kids are missing all of that, in addition to all of the social interaction, the regimen, the idea of having structure, learning all of those, what we call soft skills, like learning to wait in line and raise your hand and delay gratification, those things that kids learn that make them highly functioning and successful adults. So I agree with you. There are a lot of, Facebook moms and suburban moms out there who are saying, oh, but I just don't feel safe. It's time for people to really look. We talk about the science. Let's look at the science. Let's look at the data. 22 countries have fully opened up for school with no restrictions, no masks, no social distancing, none of this. 22, and not yesterday, not last week, but 5 and 6 weeks ago. And those countries are not seeing upticks in cases. They are not seeing spread of the virus from children to teachers or children to their parents or elderly grandparents at home. It simply isn't happening. So if you truly want to look at the data that's out there, then let's look at it and say, of all things to lock down, schools make absolutely no sense, in addition to the fact that a parent has to stay home with those kids if they're not home. So there's this enormous domino effect to the economy.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.